So there are so many people online on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, what else? Twitter, Facebook, whatever you use, you understand. There's so many people in like the football space who try to teach you so many complex drills, show you so many complex pieces of equipment, because everyone, you know how it goes with the internet, everyone tries to be, you know, the outlier. Everyone's trying to, you know, gain people's attention. Everyone wants to be known as the guy who's got the craziest drills or the craziest equipment, and then they'll start telling footballers, you need this to become a better footballer, you need this to become a better footballer, you need this, you know. You see people trying to promote, saying that you need a GPS tracker, you know, like the flipping man, the training man, bro. They say, you need this to, you know, track your heart rate, all of that. You need all of this. You need to buy mannequins to focus on your free kicks. You need to, what else is there? You need to have corner nets so that you're making sure that your shots are always in the corner. You need to buy, now the new one I think is, what's the new one? The new one is the, what is it, the VR sort of, the scanning one where they're like, they're trying to promote, you need to be scanning. And obviously I'm actually with that message. I think scanning is one of the most important things for a footballer. You have to be able to scan. Literally your head always has to be on the move every single minute of the game. You literally have to just get used to just turning your head, just knowing your surroundings. So I actually agree with the message. However, they're trying to sell, you know, a VR headset, trying to make you play virtual reality football by, you know, practicing how to scan and all that. And I'm just thinking, yo, you really don't need this. All of these things are overpriced, you understand? And I'm just making this video to say, yo, just stick to the basics, you understand? There's literally just a few certain sets of equipment that you really need to actually have good training sessions and to become a better player. And to be fair, I understand everyone's trying to make money, everyone's trying to, you know, have the biggest breakthrough, trying to make the most money, trying to sell products to, you know, footballers all over the world, not just in a certain region but all over the world. Everyone plays football. So actually I'm not knocking the hustle, you understand? I'm not knocking the hustle. I understand how it is. But you watching this video, I'm here to tell you there are only a few essentials that you really need. The first essential is your cones. Now cones, they're just an essential. Everybody knows cones. They're versatile. You can use cones to work on your speed, do sprint training, do agility work. These are just things off the ball, you understand? Do agility work. You can use cones to make gates, to improve your passing, make with a partner passing pads. You can use cones for your dribbling, where different patterns of dribbling, whether it's a zigzag, whether it's a T-shape, whether it's the plus sign, whatever sort of dribbling you need, whether it's where the cones are really close together and you're just sort of going in and out of them. You need all of that. Obviously you need a goal as well, and a goal, whether it's a 5-a-side goal, 7-a-side goal, 9-a-side, preferably an 11-a-side goal, because obviously football's an 11-a-side game. But obviously the 11-a-side goal is literally for your shooting, you understand? You get used to striking the ball cleanly off of both feet, you get used to the technique, you get used to, you know, knowing the angles of how to wrap the ball into the corner, you know, place start the ball outside the post, make sure you curl it back in. Obviously you need a goal. Now to be fair, a goal is an essential, you understand? However, it's not the end of the world if you don't have a place where you have a goal, you know what I'm saying? It's not the end of the world. You can still, you know, team training, there's opportunity to, you know, do your shooting. However, it does help, especially as an attacking player, specifically striker, winger, even number 10. It does help that you have somewhere to go to, that you have a goal. Like I said, whether it's 7-a-side, 9-a-side, 11-a-side, just focusing on your striking technique of the ball, whether it's curling the ball or whether it's striking the ball with your laces, you understand? Striking through the ball with your laces. Another thing as well is a wall. Now wall, you can have a wall or any type of rebounder, you understand? Now this is just versatile. Helps your first touch. First touch, essential. If you don't have a first touch as a footballer, you can't do anything else on the ball. If your first touch is going 5 yards in front of you, you're getting tackled. Doesn't matter how good you are, if you don't have a first touch, you will never make it as a player, simply because your first touch is what sets everything up. If you don't have a first touch, you can't showcase all your ability that you have. So you need a first touch. So that's one thing the rebounder does. Like I said, the rebounder as well helps you focus on your passing, your weight of pass, just gets you, it's a good warm-up. Obviously you can do 2-touch with if it's a tall ball, you can do 2-touch with it. Just make sure you're improving your touch, you know, plucking the ball from the sky, plucking the ball from the air, doing all of these things. If you don't have a partner to play 2-touch with, hey, just play 2-touch with the wall. Or it doesn't even have to be 2-touch, it can be any amount of touches that you want to, you know, control the ball, ping it, really ping it back to the wall, and then control it again, whether it's on your chest, your thigh, the instep of your foot, your laces, the outstep of your foot, no matter what you need, you know what I'm saying? I think a wall is very, very essential. Helps you with your turning as well. First touch / turning as well. You know, taking the ball on your back foot, taking the ball on your front foot, you know, learn how to spin both ways, spin on your right side, spin on your left side. Obviously it helps you with the skill with scanning as well, because if you're constantly passing off a rebound or off a wall, it allows you to, you know, pass the ball and then scan both sides, pass the ball, scan both sides, touch, scan both sides. So it really helps, you know, that whole thing. It's great for midfielders. If you're a midfielder, you definitely need to find a place where you have a rebounder or a wall that you can just sort of just play passes to and just mimic in a game, you know, looking around, passing the ball, scanning, and then knowing when to turn on it, knowing a variety of different turns, turning left, turning right. As a midfielder, a wall is very, very essential. And then literally the last essential I would say is just training partners, you understand? Now, you don't have to have your training partners present every single day. However, at least once, maybe twice a week, you want to have a training partner. Now, a training partner is just a psychological thing, in my opinion. It's just a competition thing. When you have someone there with you, you always want to show out and try your best. Like me personally, that's how I feel. No matter who it is, no matter if it's with my boy who's the same age as me, or it's with my 10-year-old brother, you understand? I'm always trying to, it just helps. I'm always just trying to show out, you know. Even when I'm training with my brother, I push him to go harder. I know he's pushing to go harder. I know myself, I'm pushing to go harder, because, you know, I don't want my little brother thinking, yo, my big brother's a dead baller, you understand? I don't need him thinking that. I need him to see touch is crisp, movement is sharp. I need him to see everything, you know what I'm saying? I need to be the example. And even when I'm with my boy, it's competition as well. It's competition all the time. If he's doing a dribbling drill and he's sharp with it, he's using both feet, manipulating the ball with both feet, I'm like, yo, I need to be on my A game. If we're doing a shooting drill and there's like five of the guys with me, yo, we turn it into a competition. Yo, who can score the most goals with the right foot, with the left foot, from the left side of, from more of the left side of the box, from more of the right side of the box, from the center of the goal, on the edge of the D. Yo, it's competition, you understand? So that's why I feel like training partners is essential. With yourself, when you're training by yourself, you can get complacent at certain times. Obviously, we all try to hold a certain standard for ourselves, but there are times where we can get complacent. You know, the times where maybe you're by yourself and you've just done an absolute killer rep, you know, you've done a rep and you're so tired and you decide to take that 30-second break. Whereas if you're with your boy and you're tired, you've done that same rep and you're tired, and he tells you, yo, go again, no rest, you're gonna push that extra mile. And obviously that's gonna help you with your fitness. That's gonna help you with, you know, still doing things, still executing technical drills, even when you're tired at a good level, you understand, which is obviously going to help you in a match. So yeah, training partners is literally just the last essential that you need. But all these other stuff, you don't really need them, you understand? All these other stuff, even when it comes to the drills and the patterns, keep them simple. You know, find maybe one or two footballers that you like, you know, online, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, and just take drills from them, you understand? But these guys who are trying to do the most complex sort of drills, it's sort of like, yo, you sort of have to have an eye on, yo, who's actually, you know, promoting the basics, promoting the things that actually work, the fundamentals, and who's just trying to do this for attention, you understand? Who's trying to do the maddest things for attention? It's not just football, it's literally for everything. This can go from what other industries as well. You see this with like gym TikToks, gym Instagram, you know, instead of just doing like a normal, I don't know, a normal shoulder press, guys are trying to do the most, you understand? A normal bench press or a normal pull up, guys are trying to do the most, trying to just do unnecessary stuff. Whereas every footballer will tell you, yo, the basics, just stick to the basics. The basics are ultimately the things that work. So yeah, don't get twanged by these guys. Don't get twanged, don't get finessed. The only essentials you really need, in my opinion, is a wall / rebounder to get the wall off of, cones, 2 good footballs. I forgot to mention 2 good footballs as well. 2 good footballs. Make sure your footballs are pumped as well. Don't be training with deflated footballs, because yeah, don't be training with deflated footballs, because deflated footballs, you know, they flow everywhere. You know, you take a shot with a deflated football, all of a sudden you think you have the knuckleball unlocked, and then as soon as you get into a game and then you're using a properly pumped football, you try hit that same shot, and now it's going everywhere. Now it's going that side. Whereas if you're using the flat ball that you use for your training, it's, you know, it's dipping into the top corner. Trust me. Don't make sure you have 2 good footballs with you. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your footballs are pumped. Make sure they're proper. You understand? So what did I say? I said what's it called? A goal, a wall / rebounder. Make sure you have 2 good footballs. Make sure you have cones, obviously, and then training partners to, you know, really push you to your absolute edge, absolute limit. But that's the vid for today. Let me know what other video you want to see in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.